I really like the way you've wrapped your hijab in your profile picture.
Jazakallah, brother.
Please don't call me brother.
Oh, sorry, mate.
SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Street lights guide me.
Love is being soulmates, really.
In Islam, marriage is a fundamental part of a Muslim's life. It is widely accepted across all schools of thought that getting married is half your faith.
Half your religion if you marry, and that is a huge thing that my parents also believe in.
However, for Muslims, finding a life partner in Britain isn't the easiest of tasks, especially when you are observing the faith while searching.
To find someone that you physically, mentally and emotionally connect with is so difficult.
12 wonderful people have agreed to embark on a unique journey with us, not only to share their experiences and struggles in finding a life partner, but also to learn new things about themselves along the way.
I feel that I'm ready now to share my life with someone. I just hope that it happens one day.
If I was to meet someone else, I'd probably take it very, very slow.
Does marriage being seen as more of a religious duty distort one's judgment in seeking a life partner?
I think you say you're looking for a wife, but I don't think you are looking for a wife.
With divorce always being a risk, could some be about to make the same mistakes again?
Don't look for someone who's like you, look for someone who's going to complement you.
This journey isn't about matchmaking. It's an insight into how 12 British Muslims are dealing with the struggles of trying to complete half their faith. To some people, marital bliss is as simple as having a companion to share a special moment with. For others, it may be having children. Whatever the goal of people's pursuit of happiness, one thing is for certain. Happiness is connected to love.
Do you know what it is, Ozzy? So I'm probably like the female Peter Pan. I just haven't grown up. I don't know how to.
Meet Singleton Nazia, a 38-year-old medical underwriter from Crawley.
I'm single, never been married. The exposure that I've had to marriage obviously would be my own parents. Mum was the typical housewife and Dad would be the main breadwinner. And I think seeing that has instilled perhaps my perception of what marriage should ideally be.
She's confident, she's intelligent, and is very loving.
I've never had any confidence issues in talking to males. I would probably say that is due to the fact of having 5 brothers and being close and comfortable with my dad. I haven't had any relationships. I would say that I've gone as far as putting a profile up on websites, but I just had negative experiences with that. That was quite disheartening, I think. I've been to a couple of single events as well. Again, I'd probably say that was even worse. I think now is probably the time for me for it to happen. I feel that I'm ready now to share my life with someone, and got a lot of love in my heart that I would like to give and shower on the right relevant person, and I just hope that it happens one day.
She's from a close-knit family and would like to have one of her own.
I love my family to bits. 8 brothers and sisters. I want children so bad. I love children to bits. I'm so close to my niece and my nephew. My niece. Blessing from Allah. Look at her. Hello. Having children that will complete me as a female, I think that's what my role is, to get married and have children. I'm very traditional in that way of thinking.
For someone as loving as Nazia, to not find love would be heartbreaking.
It's that loneliness. I mean, no one wants to be on their own. I've kind of like got it in my head that it's not going to happen, and I'm at that point where I'm kind of almost starting to give up.
Stay single forever?
No one wants to, but I'm kind of almost getting to the point where I'm convincing myself, well, live with it now. It's not going to happen. So just get on with everything else, get on with life. You still got your family, friends, whatever, and just go with just whatever happens, happens.
Through your own admittance, you've not done enough.
No.
Nazia enjoys watching films and is a movie buff.
I do like to watch all sorts of films, like action films, I like sci-fi, comedies. Well, I'm not really into chick flicks as such. I think with the sci-fi, it's probably more the fantasy aspect of it, I think, because those films have the ability to kind of take you away into another place, and I think sometimes that's part of my relaxation.
She has been raised in a very traditional home.
Obviously, my parents are both practicing Muslims. We were sent to the local mosque to learn the Quran. Those values have been installed in us. Islam, it's integrated in everything we do. My family view marriage as something very important, a union between two people. How my family go about it is in a very traditional way. So we have arranged marriages. I mean, we are slowly getting more comfortable to the idea of their children having their own choices. Initially, it's not very welcomed. It's because it's not really the norm in terms of how their view is.
The pressure of being an older sibling from a traditional family and still not married is mounting up.
I think maybe my siblings or even the rest of the family probably put it down to, well, she probably doesn't want to get married or she's never said anything. It's more been a case of me wanting them to say something to me. Because I've never really said to them, oh, can you find me someone, or it's about time? Because ideally how it happens in our family and in our culture is the parents decide when their child is ready to get married. As I've got older, I'm starting to feel things a lot more. When you see your friends and younger siblings that are getting married and having their children, I don't show it. It does affect me. You know, it's just kind of just makes you think this is what life's all about, you know?
With her traditional family upbringing, we thought it'd be a good idea to send Nazia to meet Sarwat and Jamal. Sarwat is very traditional and Jamal is traditionally British.
I'm getting my brother's input and my sister-in-law, she's helping me. And also trying to talk to people like yourselves as well, which probably haven't gone down the traditional route, you know, so I'm just trying to get an idea. And
You've just mentioned a very interesting word, traditional way.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be traditional?
I come from a family where it does matter. We do come from quite a small community where I've been born and brought up.
Things move quickly to Nazia, and traditions within the community become a sticking point.
Does the community pay your bills?
No, they don't. No, it'd be nice if they did. But
So why are you wasting your life for people who don't really matter?
That is something obviously that I am aware of, but it's not necessarily the issues that have prevented me from getting married. I mean, everyone has their own personal issues. I mean, I've gone through and I'm still going through personal issues. So that's probably kind of stopped me. It's affected my confidence.
You're such a beautiful lady. If I had a brother, I would definitely ask.
I get that a lot.
You are such a beautiful
woman.
woman.
People say that to me, but then I think, well...
Do you think that maybe once again you are stopping yourself from meeting potential people just by thinking, oh, I don't look good, whereas other people are not looking at you that way?
Yeah.
You're a very attractive young lady.
Yes.
You are. I'm not just saying it, you are.
You are. I mean, I'm not joking. Seriously, you know, having both met through the internet, yes. I have looked at quite a few sisters' profiles, yes. You have no problems in that field at all, right? And I'm not just saying that to be nice, and I'm not just saying that because you're at our dinner table. You genuinely have no issues there, right? No ifs, ands or buts.
But I don't understand why it hasn't, nothing's...
Oh, look. You know, the internet dating thing, it's a huge thing. You know, there's hundreds of women on there, hundreds of men on there. There's a lot of male time wasters, Yeah, right. That's your big issue with the internet.
Things are getting a little uncomfortable.
But it's not just that, it's also I've got to certain points where, for example, I might exchange emails, conversation, for example, it might be going well, and then the next thing you know, I don't hear anything from them, or it kind of simmers down.
That's quite a common thing.
They found someone else more attractive, and then it kind of...
Why would there be somebody else more attractive? There may have been somebody else who maybe had a bit more witty banter or something like that. Yeah. To my mind, you can't seem to be getting beyond this physical thing. And I will say again, the physical thing is not a problem.
Are Sarvit and Jamal advising or lecturing? Or is their strategy one of tough love?
Can I suggest something that might work? I've seen it working on other people. Have a professional photo shoot done of yourself. And just for your pleasure, and see how you look. Wear flaunting clothes, your normal clothes without the hijab.
What's this? Has Sarvit offended Nazia?
Just for your eyes, have a proper professional photo shoot done and see how pretty you look.
A proper one done with your hijab on as well, you can stick it on the side.
Probably your perception will change straight away.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Hey, do you pray?
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
What about Game of Thrones? Do you watch that?
No way, I've just finished season 4.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Hey, have you been to Hajj or Umrah?
Yeah, I did Umrah a few years ago.
It's something I really
want to do when you get married, right?
Yeah, inshallah.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
You can't live this life on your own. It is virtually impossible.
When a marriage breaks down and two people part ways, it can be a process of liberation and relief. Therefore, being single becomes the norm once again. Meet Eunice, a 38-year-old call centre coordinator from Bolton.
I've been living here for about 3 years now. Live on my own. It's a pretty nice place to come home to after a hard day's work. I did everything by myself. I chose all the decor, carpets, sofas, furniture. Laid everything out like the way I wanted to. What do I need a woman for? I can cook, I can clean, I'm hardworking, I'm responsible. As you get older, I think it becomes more lonely. If you've got a person there, you can talk to them. If you might want to have kids, maybe one day I would like to have a girl. If it's meant to be, that will happen, or whatever Allah gives. Marriage to me is a partnership between the two people who go through a journey to fulfill and achieve each other's goals and ambitions and objectives, because I'm sure everybody has them. Marriage is difficult, it is hard, it is difficult, and I think you have to be really careful in terms of who you choose, and you need to find out how they live, how they operate, and you have to get a true perception of who they actually are before you actually say yes. Because once you've said yes, that's it. You have to live with that person for the rest of your life.
And your decision comes down to obviously what your parents want, isn't it?
Yeah, not entirely, yeah. But making sure that they're happy, they've got to know the person, they've got to know their family, because that's what their interest is. And if everybody's getting along and if everybody's happy about the whole situation, and it's about getting that good gut feeling, I think.
Eunice seems reasonably clear on what he's looking for.
Somebody who's had a bit of a struggle, so we can be both on the same wavelength. Somebody who can get along with me pretty well, communicate with me pretty well, understand me. Somebody who will cooperate, in terms of will trust my decisions, and at the same time I will trust theirs. Things where we can work together on, and openly communicate.
Eunice has a son, and finding someone who will accept this is paramount.
It's Saturday afternoon. I'm just going to go and pick up my little boy from Blackburn. He's having a stay over today. And I'm located not too far away from him. I purposely chose to live not too far away from him, so you know I can see him, you know, as much as I can. You know, as a dad, I think it's very, very important. You make my heart smile. I saw this and I bought it. The reason why I bought it is because when my son comes here, he will see it and he's going to ask me, Dad, what is that all about? And I said to him, that's you and that's me. You make my heart smile and I make your heart smile. And that's the reason why I've put this up.
But what about, there's only 2 hearts. What about if you're going to bring another female into the equation?
Oh, I'm sure we can carve one of these out. There shouldn't be a problem, and paint it red and put it in the middle.
Right.
I don't think that's a tall order.
So that there, you're not saying that this is me and my son, this is my life. There is scope for having another heart in there.
Yeah, I'm sure we can untangle the string and you know, hook another one on.
Okay. Is there room for your heart to smile more?
I think there will be a heart for all of us to smile more.
Eunice has not been searching for long, however, he seems very nonchalant about it.
The only thing you can do is try and have this open mind of, you know, like hoping that you will find somebody one day. It doesn't bother me. You know, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I guess you carry on. I've not really put myself out there. I've just been introduced to a few people by friends. One friend did introduce me to somebody. I went to see her in Manchester. She said to me, I'm not the person that she is looking for. You know, I don't know what she meant by that. However, I couldn't understand her statement. I think in order to see whether somebody's compatible, you do need to get to know each other a bit more and find out, you know, what they want in a marriage, what they want in life. I believe, you know, clicking can come over time. I find it a bit unusual going online.
Why?
I don't know, I just... I've not done it, I've not gone online, and I don't think I ever will. I do take my son to the cinema, and I have been with a few friends, but you know, maybe I can take my potential partner one day there. Sometimes you think, is that person going to come along in my life? Is there somebody out there? You know, these are all the questions that go through your mind. Do you want to go through it again? Marriage? Is it going to work? Or that's the worst, you know, thought that you can ever have. You know, it's been a while since felt that I need to start looking again, and I think this is the right time.
Yeah.
You know, I think life is all about timing. You know, at times you feel that you don't want anybody. You know, that's just how it goes. But at this stage in my life, I think I do need to start looking and finding this Mrs. Right. At those times when I say, oh, it's not going to bother me, I think I'm just kidding myself.
Eunice has come to meet online matchmaker Adeem to see if he can learn more about finding the perfect partner who will fit into his fatherly life. His search methods have not extended to being online.
I think the options are family, you know, when they get around to introducing to somebody, because they still think, you know, and I probably need more time, or secondly, friends. I think those are the only 2 options. You know, meeting somebody in a good setting, in a controlled type of environment.
Have you ever considered online as an option?
No, I haven't actually. I don't know how it is online. See, the thing to me is it's like these people are strangers. I have met two sisters. The vibe I got from these two sisters is, you know, they're not too happy, you know, going online because of the false information that people give to them, and it's what they start to believe in, you know. So it was a bit negative.
The example I give though is if you're walking down the street, or you meet somebody at the masjid, or you meet somebody at work, it's the same people. You know, it's not like some alien life form that comes from Mars that kind of register on the website, or there's not like an online community that just spend their whole time online and an offline community. It's exactly the same people.
I've not tried online, no.
So is that your main reservation, and that there wouldn't be a personal recommendation, that it'll be kind of almost a total stranger? Is there anything else?
I think that's probably it. When somebody who introduces you to somebody, you know, that's recommendations. You know, this person is, you know, really nice. I believe you should meet this person. You know, and then that gives you confidence to go and actually see that particular person.
Is Yunus cutting himself off from a whole host of potential wives by not being open to being online?
But do you think that there'll be enough suitable candidates for your friends and family to put forward, though?
That's the problem, isn't it? You know, there's the people who they probably introduce to me would be limited.
Yes.
You know, and
I mean that is the main kind of USP to online, nationally or even internationally.
Yeah.
Yunus feels locality is his best bet to find someone. But what's his method? How will they find him?
I think locally is what I am looking for, because I believe I need to stay where I am. You know, everything seems to be quite in its position, if you know what I mean.
Would you like to live with family after marriage?
No, not really.
All right.
That's partly why I want to get married, so I can move out.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Sister, did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Oh, wow. Really?
Well, I want to make sure that you go back there in one piece.
Oh, inshallah.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Nazia has travelled to Nottingham to meet Sarwat and Jamal.
Are you looking strictly in your own community? Does he have to be a Pakistani?
To be honest, yes. That is one of my... Because I feel that will be easy for me to get on with someone in terms of...
Again, that's an assumption. Do you know the divorce rate in our community?
I don't know the statistics, but...
Well, it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary.
Yeah, but isn't that usually associated with arranged marriages? Or...
No, not necessarily, no. I'm talking about England. I'm just talking about England.
Yeah, because that, like I said, culture, I mean, I do understand the conflict between culture and religion, and ideally there shouldn't be.
No, but don't you think that you are actually closing a lot of avenues for yourself just by saying, no, I want a Pakistani?
But there are a lot of people with those criteria as well.
I mean, how many of Prophet ﷺ's wives were Pakistani? How many of his companions were Pakistani?
She's not comfortable with the direction of the discussion.
I am very proud of being English. I'm very proud of being English. I love being English, and my wife is a very proud Pakistani. Yeah, you know, so I'm very full of my culture, you know, and my wife is very full of her culture. We don't need to compromise on our identities.
That's fair enough. What about in terms of when children come along? So how would that
double the feast? double the feast. He's got a rich English heritage you can follow, and he's got a rich Pakistani heritage you can follow.
Is Nazia feeling like she's being swayed away from things that are important to her? Or is Sarafit wanting to help?
So is it that you just feel attracted to Pakistani men, or has no other man ever attracted you?
My attraction is towards Asian men.
Have you ever actually looked at any other man?
Not with that point of view, no.
So let's just say that, God forbid, that you don't find an appropriate Pakistani partner in the near future.
Yeah.
Would you still not consider looking in other communities?
I mean, it's just, I wouldn't know. I mean, I don't ever put myself in that position where I go out and look. I'm not going to be on the hunt for a husband. I'm not really going to put that pressure on myself either. I mean, if it doesn't happen, then in my mind, maybe that's just what God's written for me.
Right.
Nazia's, she's the funny one in our family. Questions, cracking jokes. You always know if there's a family gathering and if Nazia's there, you know there's going to be a laugh. For about a good, I'd say 10, maybe 15 years ago, my eldest brother went to Pakistan to get married, and I think a few of us who didn't go, is me, my older brother, my older sister, and Nazia, so she was kind of left to look after us. Things like your parents wouldn't let you do, like get McDonald's ice cream like nearly every single day. You know, she'd take us there. We used to have a video camera, so we used to make, you know, just stupid videos. Yeah, she's 10 years older than us, but it was just, we didn't see that age gap. We could just have a laugh with her, and you know, she was kind of, you know, I don't know, she was a good influence, but it's encouraging us to be kids, I think. Growing up, I didn't really see any negatives from it. I didn't think that Nazia was upset about it.
You've known me for a little while now, and you probably think, you know, she's quite a confident person. Yet at the same time, she's saying that her life has been on hold because of the lack of confidence. I think what it is I probably put on this persona. I come across as confident, but then that's just the defensive side of me, trying to show people I am confident, but whereas inside it's completely different.
There are greater underlying reasons behind Nazia's lack of confidence.
I think I know the reason why I am like this and my mindset is like this is because of what I've gone through.
To say it's been a struggle would be an understatement.
I've undergone a lot of changes physically.
Nazia was classified as morbidly obese and has had to overcome this through surgery.
I've always been a large lady and a large child as well, so growing up, weight has always been an issue for me. It's made me quite a defensive person as well, so I suppose I've always had this barrier up. So I've never really thought along those lines of marriage or finding someone, spending my life with someone. But went to my GP and I made an application to have bariatric surgery. That was a process that took a year, so that was a year of following certain diet programs, seeing nutritionists, even seeing a psychologist as well, because they can't really put just anyone forward for surgery. They need to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself in for, because it is classed as major surgery. So let's say almost 2 years ago I had bariatric surgery, drastically lost weight. I lost a total of about 45 kilos in weight. I'm still on that path now, so I'm not at my ideal weight yet, but it is something that I'm working towards. Being overweight has hindered me in nearly everything in my life. At school, making friends, PE lessons and things like that. Kids can be cruel, you know, and I know that people, you know, kids used to pass comments. They used to say things about me, you know, when it comes to physical activity. I used to just think of any excuse to get out of PE. The whole point of going to an amusement park is to sit on the rides. But the thing is, if you are of a certain size, if you are big, you're restricted straight away. You cannot sit on that ride. I just make up an excuse. Oh no, I get sick, or I don't want to sit on the ride, or I'll stand here, I'll look after the bags instead. Yeah, it would hurt, but I didn't want it to be evident. I didn't want people to know that. And that's why I'd always put on a brave front. And that's one of the reasons why I come across as quite a stern and defensive person is because I don't want people to know. My mindset has been created like that because of those experiences.
Nazia fears rejection based on her physical appearance.
I know the reason why I am like this and my mindset is like this is because of what I've gone through, and it's because I put it all down to my body image, I put it down to my size, I put it down to the issue that I've had with obesity and the issue that I've still got ongoing as well.
Since she's been losing a lot of the weight, I've seen, I suppose, a change to her personality, a change to her character. She's a lot more outgoing now. You know, she's, you know, afraid, she's not afraid to do things now. She'll push herself, and I think seeing those two, I suppose seeing that change actually made me realise that, you know, maybe she was, you know, really upset when she was younger, and she's just hiding it in. Real tough character, real tough cookie. She doesn't bring her emotions out to the surface.
Back in Nottingham at Sadovet and Jamal's, Nazia's issues around her perception of herself and her weight are surfacing as a barrier.
And I always felt compelled to, I have to tell them about, by the way, I do have a weight issue. Because my mind is already telling me, well, they can see that you're big. So I felt I always had to justify that to people.
Why are you already, first of all, assuming that people are going to turn you down because you are slightly overweight? I mean, you're not that big. You're not.
Like I said, I used to be a lot bigger.
Have you been bullied in the past?
I don't think I've been.
Will she ever see herself any differently?
And I know I can make that change, and obviously I need to change my way of thinking. You've hit the nail on the head, and, and family, close friends, they say the same to me as well. I'm not happy and content with myself.
At the very least, will she take the brave step to approach someone with the hope of finding true love?
I'm just coming out of this feeling really more and more positive and optimistic, and it's been an eye-opener for me as well, especially talking to a married couple that have gone through what I'm actually going through now. And we've touched on some things and issues that I probably never thought about before. Perhaps I did, but I didn't really bring to the forefront. I was getting a bit defensive, yeah, but then that's just me, and I was actually becoming aware of that. So the more I kind of talk to people about what I'm like, and then when it does happen, this voice is inside me saying to me, you're getting defensive now. And I think now, if that starts to happen more often, then I can probably learn to control that and actually not become defensive and actually kind of like kick in before my barriers go up, you know. Learn that I shouldn't be too hard on myself. I think all these barriers that I thought that society or that are there, a lot of them I'm actually putting up myself, you know. So I think I really do need to change my outlook.
We caught up with Nazia a little later, and she wasn't as happy about the meeting as she first let on.
Immediately afterwards, you know, a really nice couple, enjoyed talking to them. But I did kind of feel that a lot of what was being said to me, yes, my own good, but it felt like it was almost being like imposed on me. Like, okay, well, if you're not getting anywhere with your own community, if it's not happening, it's because your community is like that. Therefore, do what we did. You know, it worked for us and it will work for you, kind of, you know. It doesn't necessarily work for everyone. I mean, I haven't been through that negative experience that they went through themselves. They were meaning well and all of that, but did feel a bit down by it, because it kind of then gave me the impression that, okay, well, you know, this is then how you have to do it.
I'm not sure what qualities I want in my husband. I suppose someone who's sweet, has a nice dress sense and is sociable.
I think you've just described a box of quality streets.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
I so need to lose weight. My mum's cooking is just sick.
Well, if we hit it off, you will lose weight because I don't cook.
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.
Eunice has come to meet Adeem and wants to get better insight on how he can market himself. However, he's narrowing his field of view by rejecting the prospects of searching online.
One sister I met, she was in communication with somebody, and an hour before she was going to go and meet up with him, she was told that he was married.
Well, this is the thing, and it's all about, you cannot lose your common sense. The common sense is, look, you have to do your background checks. It doesn't matter if it's offline or online. The world is made up of all sorts, really, in terms of good people and bad people. There's thousands of websites that are set up doing whatever else, but our platform really is focused on marriage, and the prerequisite is that you're a Muslim and you're single and you're looking for marriage. As soon as you start communicating, it gets very, very deep, and it gets very, very kind of intense and highly emotional as well.
Is online too old school for Eunice?
What we advise is families to use it, so they don't use it individually and they don't use it kind of as a soul search. They use it as a tool for the whole family. And what we advise is that always have a wali present, and always have a, even if it's not kind of somebody that's with you right there and then, put that in your profile, who your wali is. That safeguards yourself as well, because the person who's viewing your profile will know that you're serious.
So Adeem, are you saying you can still stay within the boundaries online in terms of the methodology that you would use when your parents introduces you to somebody and you would go to visit somebody's house? That particular methodology you can still apply online, is that what you're saying?
100%, and that's guaranteed, because look, some of the most successful marriages that come from the website are actually families that are searching, and families that have come together, not just individuals but family units that have come together.
Eunice leads a very humble and simple life. He loves his son and enjoys time with him.
That's my son. He made it and he gave it to me. I'm quite an active dad, yeah. You have to be, you have to join in with your child. It was on display in school for a while, and then he brought it home and he decided to bring it here because this is where he made it.
You've got a lot of your son here.
Yeah, it's part of my life. It has to be. I need to make him aware that Dad is still here, and I need to take responsibility. I am a very responsible person, with the time that I have. I need to put it into use, into me and the closest people around me.
What about, how is someone else going to fit into your life, Eunice?
I'm sure there's space for it. We can make space, we can create it. I pray so that the life ahead of me will bring me happiness and ease, peace. These are all the things that people look for. I want my son to have religion into his life. The way I was brought up at a very young age, you go to mosque, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's learning how to, pray his namaz, learning how to read Urdu, learning how to read Arabic. That's very, very important, as his upbringing. That will help him throughout his life. Yeah, it's important to remember who you are, and follow your religion and pray. A good marriage starts with bringing the 5 prayers into both of your lives. I don't have conditions in a sense where she has to wear a hijab, or the conditions that I have is respect, listening to each other, communicating to each other. Trust is very important to me. Trust is something that you build on, and trust is something that makes a marriage a success.
The question still remains, where will Eunice fit a wife into his life?
I wake up, drive to work, which is about 17 miles away. A full day's work, which is about 8 hours. Go to work, 8-hour shift, usually there for 9. Come back, At the moment, I'm doing some extra work in the evenings as well, so that's, you know, making me quite busy.
So you got 2 jobs?
Yes, at the moment I have. Just occupying my time. And then certain days I've got responsibilities to go and see my son. On the weekend, bring him round as well. So at the moment, you know, my time is divided into me, work. My family's in Yorkshire, so I do have to make a trip to go and see them at least once a week, you know, just to see how they are, you know,
so your life's quite
how
packed,
they're coping.
isn't it?
It is quite packed. I'm just wondering whether there's room for another. You know, I guess we all have to make certain sacrifices, which, you know, everybody does. But yeah, it is quite busy. At times it does bother me, you know, because it is, you know, everybody needs, you know, a companion. You know, everybody needs someone to live their life with. But then, at times, I do think, you know, I'll be fine. You know, I can look after myself. You know, I'm okay in terms of cleaning, cooking, working.
He seems very laid back about the whole process and appears to be exerting minimal effort. Is he serious? Eunice has come to meet entertainer Uncle Jawad to discuss the religious qualities he's looking for in a wife.
I've only recently decided, you know, I need to start looking for somebody. I've had a lot of things to achieve, I would say, you know, or I've had quite a few things going on. So it's just recently I've said to myself, right, I think it's time to start looking for somebody. Okay. You know, you're not going to find that perfect person, because I believe there isn't, nobody's perfect. I am looking for somebody who's quite loyal and understanding, you know, a good listener, okay. You know, so we can bounce off each other. And the other one is, I would like to find somebody who is religious, okay. Yeah. If that person is, you know, on a level of 1 to 10 in terms of religion, you know, practicing in Islam, you know, if somebody is, you know, 5, I would be happy for that, because then, you know, we can both work together.
You know what I say to brothers? I say to brothers, before you put the ring on the woman's finger, make sure her relationship, what is her relationship with Allah?
Yeah.
Does she love Allah before you put the ring on her finger? Yeah. Because if you find a woman like that, yeah, she'll help you all the way.
I think the main people that you really, really need to please and feel content that they are happy is your parents. Okay. You know, your mum and dad. You know, I think parents know best. Okay. You know, I think they know best, and sometimes going along with their happiness, yeah, can bring a successful marriage.
The bottom line is, you're going to live with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to live with them. Yeah. When you go home with them and close the door, it's you who's living with them.
I do have to live with them.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, I'm going to be with that person forever, inshallah, yeah? However, you know, it's important to get their blessing, because after you get married, you know, whilst all your, you know, your big day's over and then reality hits you, you know, you will be going for dinner to your mum and dad's, you will be going to family weddings, you will be, you know, it's that integration you have to have with the family.
In the Quran, God says, you obey Allah and His Messenger and your parents.
Yeah.
But if your parents go against something that Allah and His Messenger has said not to do, you disobey them, but you treat them with kindness. I'll tell you something, what Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, yeah? He said, if 2 people want to be married, they must be married. If not, there will be fasad, which means trouble in the land. Because what will happen, the boy, he might go off the track. He can't marry the girl he wants to be with. And a girl should go off the track because she can't be with the man she wants to be with. But the Prophet said, peace be upon him, he said, they should be married.
I guess I've not had a proper, real discussion with my mum and dad.
dreamt I was honeymooning in Dubai and it was amazing.
Alhamdulillah. Could you dream about honeymooning in Manchester instead?
Find your perfect partner. SingleMuslim.com proudly sponsors Half My Faith or My Struggle.